Hello and welcome. Today we've got something simple. So sit down, take a round, and enjoy. Hello and welcome to the continuation of DC's The Blackest Night. So Blackest Night 102. So sit down, stick around, and enjoy. Oh yes, what a ride have we had over the last few months. Blackest Night, by far probably one of DC's best miniseries, at least in a long time in my opinion. It all started off on Free Comic Book Day of last year, and it comes to a head through all these things in number 8. Last time we spoke about Blackest Night was during Halloween time of last year, and we were pretty much getting to the point where Abin was being resurrected from the dead. And so Abin was resurrected from the dead as a Black Lantern. And actually, it's probably one of the things I didn't really enjoy that much about the whole Blackest Night series. He didn't really do much. Abin was brought back, and you're thinking, oh my God, Abin wow, you know, the guy who basically came to Earth and gave Hal Jordan's ring to him. So, you know, you think, oh, Kyle, wow, you know, this is going to be like a big fight, you know, because he's probably not impressed with what Hal has done, you know, how Hal has treated the ring and everything like that. And not really any of that actually transpires that much. So, a little disappointed in that. Nonetheless, still cool to see Abin back, which was neat. The series will continue. It'll be kind of interesting because what's going to happen next is in the as we go along in issue 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, we start to see that the Black Lanterns finally reach 100%. So their 100% power, their black energy lantern power battery is at 100%. So then they start doing some really neat stuff, like resurrecting entire cities, such as Coast City and other planets as well. Very cool. So that was neat. See a whole bunch of these dead people running around. And actually, it would even, at one point, they start affecting the living. They would cling on to living people who were once dead, who came back to life, and actually turn them into Black Lanterns, such as Wonder Woman. So, very neat. That was cool. Seeing all these old people come back, you know, and haunting the current characters was very neat as well. Props go off to Sinestro, because as we continue along here, Sinestro kind of, you know, still big friends with Abin at the time, you know. Always kind of had a little hatred for the fact that Abin left, you know, and died and gave the ring to Hal, and Hal was Abin's replacement, because Sinestro really liked Abin and really doesn't like Hal Jordan. So, they go back to Korgar, which is kind of cool, and all of this new Lantern Corps, basically. So what they do is they grab all the lanterns from all the different colors, one of each, and try to put them together to form a new Guardians, kind of like the Guardians again, because the Guardians are all dismantled at this point. They're trying to form a group in order to try to stop the Black Lanterns and stop the black energy battery. So what's going to happen is they're going to go back to Korgar, and Sinestro's going to get into a friggin' wicked fight with Mongol, because Mongol claims that he's the new ruler of the Yellow Lanterns, and yeah, Sinestro doesn't like that shit. So Sinestro goes to Korgar and just fights with Mongol in a friggin' epic battle, and a lot of great dialogue. You guys have to read it. And eventually Sinestro just kicks Mongol's ass, which is awesome. And because Mongol was part of the reason why Coast City was destroyed to begin with during the whole Parallax thing. So it was kind of neat to see Sinestro and Mongol actually go at it. It's very cool. Later on in the series, when they're actually overwhelmed and outnumbered, all the current lanterns from all the different groups. And the Orange Lantern, Larfreeze, Agent Orange, is phenomenal. He is awesome. I love that guy. Seriously, he doesn't want to give anything. He's very possessive because the ring makes him possessive, the orange ring. And it's just awesome to see him go because he doesn't even have like a battle cry like when he puts on his ring. Like he has nothing. It's awesome. The guy at Larfleeze is awesome. So what happens is the lanterns eventually go back to Earth, all of them together in a little group, and try to fight the now risen Necron. And Necron is basically the entity that represents death. So he's rised, and basically thanks to Black Hand and the whole Black Rings, and he wants to basically eliminate all of life. So what's happening now is that we have all these different colored lanterns that are all around on Earth right now fighting, and Gantlet Cashley, one of the Guardians, recognizes that there's just too many Black Lanterns to fight, and they don't have any bearing, and they can't fight Necron. Necron's not being wounded or nothing, so they're like, you know what, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to deputize, I'm going to basically take your rings, reproduce them, reproduce one of each, of all the colors, and deputize new temporary lanterns in order to help us fight. So Gantlet becomes a Green Lantern. Some cool picks here were kind of neat, because Mera, Aquaman's wife, I should say, who was really violent woman. She becomes a Red Lantern, you know, lets out her rage, which is neat. And naturally Sinestro, a Yellow Lantern, yellow rings, color of fear. Who else are you going to get into DC Universe who instills more fear into people than Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow? So that was a cool pick. So Jonathan Crane becomes a Yellow Lantern. And the greed factor of the orange rings, which only Larfleeze has, there's only one Orange Lantern, aka Agent Orange. His ring doubles, and he's pissed off because he wants it. Gets all mine. That ring goes to somebody else who is equally as greedy as he is. And who else in the DC Universe would be more greedier than Lex Luthor? So Lex Luthor becomes an Orange Lantern. And naturally, there's a whole hope and goodness of the Blue Lanterns, and that the Flash becomes a Blue Lantern. So very neat who they picked to become, you know, these subsidiary lanterns. It's very cool. Luthor and Larfleeze fight a lot because they both want the orange ring. So they're both fighting over the battery, basically. So it's kind of neat to see them go, and it's causing all kinds of turmoil between them because they're all trying to fight the evil people, all trying to fight the Black Lanterns, all trying to fight Necron, while these two guys are just obsessed with the Orange Lantern, and they're fighting between themselves, which is kind of, it's definitely very entertaining in the comics. And what'll happen later is finally everybody else, all the other lanterns that are out there, all the other Green Lanterns like, you know, Kilowog or Guy Gardner, and all the other lanterns from all the other corps, all the other colors, finally make it to Earth to help. So then you have a total spew of lanterns fighting together and trying to defeat Necron. Now, and remember, there's be spoilers in this, so if you don't want to watch because of spoilers, don't. Although I kind of already spoiled some stuff. Sorry. So what's going to happen next is that what I always thought in the beginning of this, when I first saw the black rings and all that, and I thought, well, you know, if you put all the colors together, it makes, you know, the color white, which makes sense, you know. You dissect the white color and it gives you the rainbow, which, you know, we all learned that in school with their little prisms, you know, and shooting light through it, you know, a la Pink Floyd. So, so I always knew the white, there probably would be white lanterns in this. And that was kind of always my theory, and it did happen. Not in the same way. I thought they would all merge together and form the white light, when in reality the white light is an entity, just like Parallax, which actually I should mention here quickly. In order to fight Necron, Hal Jordan released Parallax, the thing that possessed him years ago that made him basically destroy all the Lantern Corps. He re-released it, and Sinestro wanted it to take over his being in order to help him fight, and Hal said, no, you can't control it, only I can control it. So he merged again with Parallax, just like he did years ago, in order to try the fight against Necron. And in the end, Parallax was basically taking him over, and then they used all of the other lanterns and then exorcised Parallax from him. That happened in Green Lantern issue 50. So they got Parallax out of him. Now this white light creature, just like Parallax basically, it needs a vehicle. It needs somebody it can basically possess. So as Hal is saying, you know, well, I'm going to, you know, let it basically possess me and become a White Lantern type thing and try to fight Necron, Sinestro's like, no, you know, this is my time. You know, this is up to me. I'm going to be the hero. This is my destiny. So he jumps in front of Hal and basically receives the white light and becomes a White Lantern and starts to beat up on Necron, which is very cool. Sinestro has always been a very, even though he's evil, the guy has good qualities, and I don't really think he sees himself as evil. He sees kind of himself as the balance, the justice that the Guardians were never, you know, in his opinion, were never actually ever became. He thinks the Guardians are corrupted, and basically it's up to him to restore balance everywhere, which is kind of cool. So he becomes a White Lantern. He starts fighting, and then what happens? The white light separates again, and all these white rings become readily available and fly around and start basically taking over all of the dead heroes and some of the dead villains, and they're all becoming White Lanterns. So everybody's fighting against Necron, and realizing every time they try to kill him, he just comes back. You can't kill him because naturally the only way to fight death is with life. And they finally clue in on what the issue is. The person who brought Necron into the world, the person that basically was evil enough at the time to bring forth the Black Rings, as we saw in Black Lantern 101, was the Black Hand. And Black Hand since has been dead and resurrected, and he's the first Black Lantern. So basically they have to kind of focus their energy on him in order to end Necron. And what they do, it's simple. As opposed to having your whole black ring fly on you and then hearing that magical pop-up voice that says, William Hand of Earth, rise. And he comes back from the dead. The white ring goes on William Hand, the Black Hand, breaks his black ring, and then says, William Hand of Earth, live. So he's brought back to life. And by him coming back to life and leaving the dead world, it basically destroys Necron and destroys all the Black Lanterns and all the Black Rings, because all their power comes from him. So he becomes living again. Then the Indigo tribe takes him and brings him away, and he's kind of like, in the comics you'll see just a frame of him. He kind of looks like he's half out of it, like lobotomized. So he's gone with them. They just know that the Indigo tribe left and Black Hand's missing everybody else. They don't know exactly where he is or if he actually is with them. But we see that he actually is with the Indigo tribe. So they take Black Hand away. And subsequently, the White Rings, with the whole live thing, bring back a whole slew of DC characters. So all these DC characters who were dead before, such as Reverse Flash, who else was on there? Martian Manhunter, there's 10 of them in all. I'm trying to think of them all here. Martian Man, oh yeah, Aquaman was in there too. Anyways, there's 10 of them that come back. And yeah, so these people, these characters all come back to life, which is awesome. And there's no real explanation to it yet. But a very good way to bring back characters without having to go and reboot everything. You might want to learn something from all this, Marvel. Yeah, I'm taking a stab at you, Marvel. Because DC managed to do two things with this series, in my opinion. Number one, they managed to bring the whole living dead thing in. Although I know you guys kind of started it with the superheroes being living dead with Marvel Zombies. But let's face it, the thought of Marvel Zombies, even though cool when it first came out, although now it's pretty well, I don't know, it's been overused like way too much. It's overstayed its welcome, in my opinion. But I mean, the whole fact of Marvel Zombies, what did you do? You went to parallel universe, and that's how you explain it. I don't know. It's a little weak. While DC, although they probably took the idea of bringing zombie-esque people from the whole Marvel Zombies thing, thought of a more elaborate way of doing it by bringing in Black Lanterns and Black Rings, which is cool. This actually is a neat storyline. And now by bringing back some of their old characters again, they're doing it using white rings instead of doing the whole reboot, which is just neat. Very well thought of. Jeff Johns really thought this out well. Very cool. So yeah, so Necron's defeated, and now Blackest Night is over. We are now in what's called Brightest Day. So yeah, I may do a video eventually on Brightest Day. Who knows? So very cool. Some good battles. Sinestro definitely stole the show. Larfleeze was awesome. The rest of the Lanterns actually were cool too, but those two guys definitely stole the show. And on another note, because this is such a big event in DC, and you know, and I want to give back to the fans, because let's face it, you guys are the reason why I'm here. I have Blackest Night complete, including number 0, Free Comic Book Day, the whole thing from 1 to 8 right here, all first prints. All first prints. For all you people out there who are like, I want a first print. All first print. So what I'm going to offer you guys is this. We're going to have a little contest. Now, in order to celebrate something that happened in Blackest Night as well, in the last issue, in issue 8, out of all the people that were resurrected, the 10 people that were resurrected, and if I do my stuff right, you're going to see their names here pop up. Out of the 10 people that were resurrected, there's one character that I love, and I was ecstatic to see was resurrected. I've mentioned this in other videos. I've spoken of this character, I should say, in other videos. I've written about him, I've answered comments, I spoke about him, basically. So, the knowledge that I like this guy is out there. So what I'm going to offer is this. So out of the 10 people that were resurrected, there's one that I like a lot. One of my favorite DC characters. So what I'm going to do is, you can go to my website, www.askkevinanything.com. You'll find a link there that says the Blackest Night Contest. So when you go to the Blackest Night Contest, this is what you're going to do. There's a form there, it's simple. Put your name, put your email address, and put your answer to the question, which is, which character out of the 10 that were resurrected is one of DCompose's favorites? And all you gotta do is put that in there, and what I'm going to do is one person out there with the right answer, naturally, is going to win this entire set. Some other people are going to win Decompose t-shirts. So if you're on there and you type in the answer, don't forget underneath that, put in your preferred t-shirt size. Small, medium, large, extra large, double extra large. Just in case you win a t-shirt. Now if you don't win a t-shirt and you win this, even better. So what I'll do is, when we successfully, out of all the correct answers, I'm going to successfully pick some winners, and I will email you back for your address and send you the swagger. Yeah, I feel like I'm in a giving mood. Might be some other little prizes in there too. Who knows? So yeah, so go to my website and get that going. And if you want to discuss right here on this video who is this mystery character, if you have an idea, you know, go ahead, you know, talks amongst yourselves. There is no cheating, because, you know, I've got a pile of videos, and if you have to go through them again to try to find out who it is, you might be watching a lot of me, and I know watching a lot of me probably isn't that fun. So actually, I'll leave you a little clue as well, just because I'm feeling nice. This individual is known by 3 different names. So he has his real name, and he has two other names that he goes by. Kind of like, you know, Steve Rogers is Captain America. Well, same thing. This guy is real, he has a real name, and then he has 2 other things he goes by. So we go by Captain America, and he go by the Hulk. So he goes by 2 other things. First hint. Another hint is that this individual has still not been made into the DC Universe figures. You know, the new DC Universe figures, which I review sometimes. I review the Green Lantern series of them. He hasn't been released in that yet. Although he has been released in the smaller versions, those 3 7/4 inch ones, the DC what is it, Infinite Universe figures. I can't remember what they are, what the name of it is offhand. Smaller ones anyway. He's been released in that, but he hasn't been released in a normal size figure yet. So those are the 2 hints I'm going to give you. So discuss amongst yourselves. If you haven't read Blackest Night, please go read. And hopefully one of you is going to get a chance to read them all here on first print. So until next time, guys, take care. Later.